everything is framed up. I just need to start putting the plywood down, securing it. I took a measurement of the plywood so that I knew where the dead center was. Once I get the big pieces of plywood down, I'm going to measure the small pieces, get those cut, and put those down. And the last piece is to get this final leg installed, because it needs it. It's going to need it. I think just the extra leg in the middle is going to be all right. So I'm not going to show that. It's just me putting a bunch of screws, putting plywood down. It's not going to take too long, I hope. Well, I'll get to it. Catch you in a few. Alright, I'm just finishing up. I just cut the 4 pieces that are going to be a little proud off the edge by maybe 2 inches, and that's okay. I'm not going to put anything super heavy on there on the edge. It's just to extend the shelf out a little bit. What I'm going to do is, these are a little proud, so I'm going to take a flush trim bit and route them back to this 2x4, and then I'm probably going to take a round over bit just to give them a little bit of a softer edge, and that way it won't tear up the wood as much. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do up here, because it's easier for you to see. Although there will be a lot of sawdust flying, so. And for the most part, I've kept all the cutting outside so I don't create a giant mess in here, but I can't help this. So let me get the extension cord, I'll show you what I'm doing, and then I'll finish up and then cinch up these last shorter panels. So, pretty messy, but gives a really nice flat edge. Like I said, I'm going to round that over, and I'll do that to the rest of these and finish this up. So I'll be right back. All that's left now, after all the routing, is I have to sand that, screw down these ends, and put the leg on, and we're done. So excited to get this done. Alright, catch you in a few. Ta-da! All done. I'd like to say they were simple, but they were not. They were simple enough. They certainly look simple. Is it pretty? No. Is it functional? Yeah. I'll take function over aesthetics anytime. They will support a lot of weight, especially with this leg. Despite my looks, I am actually just under 200 pounds. So that was about 200 pounds on the top shelf. It was on the leg. There we go, 200 pounds. They're pretty solid. I'm really happy with the construction. Wood prices have come down finally, so I was able to knock this out. I've got other projects coming around. I need to build a couple of gardens. So a couple of things that I used I want to point out. I love my Milwaukee tools. This is not a paid sponsorship. I love these tools. These are probably the best tools I've ever owned. I've got the impact driver and drill. I've also got one of their circular saws that you watched me use for cutting down the plywood. I also used a Craig jig for rip cutting plywood. It maxes out at 2 feet, so you can cut a piece of plywood right in half. It's a wonderful thing. This little wrist strap, I really like it. It has magnets in it. I put it around my wrist. I can attach a bunch of screws to it, and that way I'm not reaching for boxes or having the young ones hand me screws and then poking me with them or dropping them. When it comes to screws, these are my favorite. I went through a lot of these. I actually used a lot of different screws. I used up the vast majority of my 2+ inch screws. I still have a box of 3 inch. For the most part, I used 3 inch into the walls and 3 inch into the cross members, and then 2.5 when it was flat 2x4 to 2x4, because 3 inch could poke through if I drive them in too far, and the last thing I want to do is catch the tip of the screw on something. But otherwise I used a right angle, a level, and a clamp because I was by myself, and a tape measure. Tape measures are important. Measure twice, cut once. What you didn't see was a lot of me standing here trying to figure things out, how I'm going to do this by myself, what's the best way to do this. A lot of revisions of plans, but in the end, I got what I wanted, I got what I needed. I needed shelves, and I needed them the entire length, and I needed them not to collapse often. Tonight I get to put everything back onto the shelves because it's all on one side of my garage and in front of the doors, and it's just my garage is a giant mess right now. It's not typically like this. So thank you for watching. This has been a Ginger Cam. My name is Brian, and over the last couple of days I put up some simple shelves. I brought you along so maybe you can tackle a project like this. It's pretty simple. I didn't do anything super fancy. You don't need a flesh cut router bit. You don't need a router. You can use a sander to get the same effect. It just takes a little bit longer. I happen to have a router, so there's that. The round over bit just makes it a little bit nicer. It's not perfect. The plywood wasn't perfect. I mean, it's the cheapest plywood I could find. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on shelving. This isn't fine furniture. Like I said, I'm probably going to end up painting this in the future, but that requires a little bit more sanding, and I don't have that kind of time. In fact, I don't even have paint right now, so that's for the future. So if you stumbled across this channel perchance, thank you for watching. I'm a stay-at-home dad. This is my channel for stay-at-home dad stuff, cooking, cleaning, house repair, projects, things like that. So if you like that kind of stuff, please be sure to subscribe. If you are subscribed, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I put videos up, typically every Saturday. If you found this educational or even a little bit entertaining, I'd appreciate it if you give me that thumbs up. And if you got projects you want to tackle, comment down below. We can work something out. I can give you some ideas or some tips, and maybe you have other ways to build shelves. That's all I got for you in this video. Take care. I'll catch you in the next one.